It's Saturday, and this is episode number 3. We're talking about fall's must-see TV. We're getting the results from my weekly social media poll. We're going to do a little bit of lightning round TV, and we're also going to answer your social questions. Stick around for this week's Any Given Saturday.
Sometimes I just want to let it play.
Just listen to it the whole time.
Yep. Welcome to Any Given Saturday, the show that provides the fan and critic point of view for everything we talk about. Each week we bring you insight, reviews, and ridiculous banter on movies, TVs, games, and everything on the web. I'm a fan named Dan in the equation, and every week I'm with the one and only...
Bailey Hemphill, critic mastermind.
See... Did I? I think I took that out.
No, it's still there.
Oh, it's still there.
Yep.
Yeah, it looks like...
Still says that.
Well, you are the mastermind in this equation.
I am the HBIC.
If you haven't figured out yet, I like to do podcasting, but I like to bring smarter people on the show that know the topic better than me.
Hey, I'm glad that you said I'm smart. So
I am a fan in everything, and I know like I can scratch the surface on about every discussion, but I can't get in deep. That's why I bring you on, or Tommy, or whoever. And,
I go deep.
Hear
that, gentlemen?
And let's close out the show.
And that's it. Goodbye.
Wow. Wow. We just became that kind of... Now you're going to have the E. You know, in iTunes, we're going to have the
I know.
E for explicit.
I thought we already did.
Yeah, we did, because you say shit a lot.
Shit. Damn it.
So I had to take my Apple Watch off, because we're going to record here, and it is also Saturday, which means football. And for us, it's a big game for Husker Nation. And my watch is blowing up with notifications from Twitter. As
is my phone right now.
So every week we do a little game with Pat and JT over Q98.5. We do a Big Ten Pick'em Challenge, and it was kind of an interruption to get this started.
We're looking at the picks right now, and it's funny. Twitty, he picked Oregon over Nebraska. I feel a little betrayed. But at the same time, I feel like he might also be hedging his bets safely.
Yeah.
I don't want to say that, but it's possible.
No. I'm not to the point that I'm willing to vote against Nebraska yet. But I also seen, when I first put out the poll, I accidentally left last week's picks in, and so I had Howard in there. I can't remember who Howard played. I think Rutgers played against Howard. And I forgot to remove Howard. And JT actually voted for Howard. They don't even play this week, JT. Hello.
She's just picking. She didn't even research or anything.
She's like, she did message me later and said, did I actually pick Howard? Yes, you did. You automatically lose that one.
I love how consistently down the line, though, it's like Wisconsin. Nobody chose against Wisconsin.
Well, they got a complete gimme game. They are playing a complete... I don't even want to say it bad, but they are not a good team. They are playing an FBS school that is not good. Iowa now, we were watching Iowa a few minutes ago, but Iowa's playing North Dakota State, which is a legitimate, FBS school. But this is Wisconsin's an easy. But that's the only pick that was 100%.
Mm-hmm. It's just funny too with the new way that the phones work. With iOS 10, the notifications just blow up your front screen.
Oh my God.
You cannot avoid them.
So I just did the update literally last night. And you know what also pisses me off is when I go to unlock my home screen, sometimes I put my thumb on it and it seems to unlock. And sometimes I go to put my thumb on it and it actually tells me to push the fucking button. Excuse my language. Siri says, look.
Yeah. Oh, no, that's the new thing. I think they did that because people kept leaving their thumbs on it and it would unlock when they didn't want to. So now they make you push the button.
I think part of it is, so with the new the iPhone 7, they got rid of the mechanical button. Mm-hmm. That button's gone. Yeah. So now it's a sensor and you push harder for different functions. Oh. So you put your finger on it for one thing, you push down harder for another thing. So I think those people get the benefit, and it just, for us old people, they just completely fucking screw us. Actually, I guess that's why the E is on the show now. That's 2 F-bombs. But it really pisses me off that I can't get in my phone when I want to. So I just don't know. Yeah, I just don't know.
Or like you can't swipe up for the camera as easily.
Well, now you swipe sideways.
What?
You swipe sideways.
All these sideways, and I got used to this
but
one.
Look, I can't swipe back to get rid of it. I used to be able to swipe up and swipe down, but if you swipe the other way, you just get notification city.
I love how we'll complain about this now, and then a few years down the road when they change it up again, be like, but I was used to swiping on sideways.
They are banking on notifications now for whatever reason. Like, it is just, for whatever reason, they think that we have to see everything every second. But I also fell into that trap because that is the only purpose to have an Apple Watch, is to get notifications. That's true. It doesn't serve any other purpose. Don't buy an Apple Watch. Don't be that guy.
Don't be that guy.
Don't be him.
No, don't be that guy.
All right, so this week, this is the first week of fall TV, right?
Some shows started this week. Some started a few weeks ago. It's kind of just whatever the networks feel like doing anymore. But yeah, essentially September kicks off all the brand new fall shows. And so each network kind of has a lot going on. And we've talked about some other ones like Luke Cage from Netflix, and I think I brought up American Horror Story before.
Yeah.
So there's a lot. I mean, let's talk about it. What do you want to talk about first?
Well, I think so. When I teased this, I said we were only going to talk about one from every network, right? Because we could be here all day.
It's true.
So we went through and created the list of, I guess, what we think are the best shows, possibly. And I'll say possibly because there's some good runner-ups.
Or most popular, most
or what's being talked about.
Yeah.
That's probably even a fair assessment because there's a couple that are really, I would question. Like ABC really seems to be bringing a few to the table that might be interesting, but
they don't have a strong lineup. I think it's because they already have so many shows that are already good, and they're like, nah, we're good. We have Shondaland. We're fine.
Yeah. Well, I think every show they're bringing is very different.
Yes.
So that's what I like about what they're doing. Very different. Where Fox really, I don't even know.
I don't even know what Fox is doing anymore.
I don't know. But let's start with Hulu. How about Hulu? We'll go. Okay. We're even going to talk about the streaming guys. So let's start with Hulu, and I think the show that you mentioned,
I brought it up. I actually haven't watched this one yet, but I saw it, and I saw like trailers for it, and I was like, I need to check this out. It's called Difficult People. It actually started back in August, but it's two 30-something aspiring comics living and working in New York City, and they, deal with their friends and relationships, and it's, oh gosh, who are the people? Let me pull this up really fast.
While you're looking at, let's listen to a clip. Let's see if my clip works.
Does the soup have any dairy?
And I'm cold. Can you turn down the air conditioning?
I don't know, but what fun question.
Well, that cut off real quick.
It did.
I need to learn how to fade that.
So didn't like it.
No, I kept the clip short. But when I listened to the preview or I listened to the whole clip, it just seemed like I couldn't understand what was going on with this show. There was like it's joke after joke after joke after joke after joke, and it was just ongoing. And so I didn't really get a good sense of what the show was about. But I also didn't read
the trailer's that way too, because you watch the trailer and it's just jokes. But that's kind of what the whole premise is. I mean, it's just we're comics. This is our life. It's Julie Klausner and Billy Eichner. I don't know if you've ever seen Billy on the Street. Billy Eichner does that, and he basically runs around on the streets of New York City and shouts at people. Oh. He'll be like,
all right,
who was in this movie? And they'll answer wrong, and he's like, no, you're terrible.
Oh, so this is more of a live game show on the street?
No. That's his other show. This is his new show on Hulu.
I've not seen that. I've not seen that show.
Yeah, gotcha. This is kind of more like almost like a 30 Rock type, not like sitcom necessarily, but it's more about like the comedians using their lives as
So are they going to, one of the problems I have with Hulu or some of these channels that do these comedies, and I don't know about this one, is when you're listening or watching these shows, they say the joke, but they don't have that canned background laughter. You know how you watch
God, I hate those.
The canned Oh, you don't like it? I actually like it because it cues me, I need to laugh here.
See, and I hate that because I'm like, if I didn't laugh here, it means it's not funny. You don't need to tell me it's funny. I
think comedies are really hard to pull off these days.
Yeah.
Really hard. 10 years ago, 15 years ago, before the internet, they ran comedies all day long. Remember Must-See Thursdays or,
NBC had like the strongest lineup back then.
But now I think it's really hard to pull off. Everybody's seen so many jokes and you can go on YouTube and watch funny cat videos all day, so I think it's really difficult to pull off.
That's why I want to give this one a try, though, because it looks different. And so, yeah, I'll be checking out Difficult People later.
All right, let's try out the next one.
Do you see her?
Figure out what this is.
It could get any worse than it did.
Something here in the woods, in that house, intends to kill me.
So that was your American Horror Story.
Was it?
You want to hear it again?
Yeah, play it again. I didn't think it was.
Do you see her?
I didn't think it could get any worse than it did.
Something here in the woods, in that house, intends to kill me.
Oh, yep, that is it.
American Horror Story, which I've never seen any of these episodes, but they put out like 26 teaser little commercials.
Yes,
and they were all really fascinating.
So each season is an anthology. So while it is technically one series, they're all very different shows. And I talked about it on, I think it was episode 1 or 2.
I've only done a couple.
Yeah. But so American Horror Story is just different horror stories. So like the first one was Murder House, and it was about a family in a house. Second one was Asylum in an insane asylum. They had a witch coven. They had a circus. They had a hotel with vampires. So this season was really mysterious because it's their last one and they're kind of going out with a bang. And it's called My Roanoke Nightmare. They have it framed as a TV documentary of a couple telling their story about buying this house that's haunted by, the old survivors of the lost colony of Roanoke.
Yeah, which was like 1,600 people or something like that has supposedly vanished one time.
I think it was only like 600.
All right, I'm exaggerating.
It sounds way cooler with 1,600. Yeah. Woo, they're gone.
3,000.
Yeah. So it's really interesting, though, because like the way that they're framing it as a TV documentary, but it's not a real TV documentary.
That's interesting.
I don't know. This show is so batshit. Like, I love it and I hate it at the same time because it's a hot mess, but it's also really campy and kind of.
Are they going to pull all these together somehow eventually? Because they're not linked together in any way as of right now, right?
They do have some links. Like it's weird links. Like you have to kind of pick up on.
I know there's a lot of theories out on the internet about this and what the ending of the show is going to be, and you're going to look back and it's going to be
everything.
Yeah,
well, because they have carried over characters from other
that's interesting
series. So you're like, or not series, the show. But yeah,
I've never watched it, but I'm actually very interested this year after seeing all the commercials and everything. They remind me of the old Vincent Price movies. The old just creepy. Flicks. I mean, I don't know if you remember the Vincent Price movie, but like Pit and the Pendulum, and he did a lot of stuff way back in the late 70s and early 80s, which I used to watch as a kid, or even when I was.
Oh yeah,
yeah. He did a lot of things that they weren't necessarily scary. They were just really creepy.
The original House of Wax, the original The Fly.
Yeah, that guy was a mastermind.
Oh, House of Usher. I do remember that one. We watched it in an English class way back, but
yeah, that guy was the best. And so now I see this, and I always think back to all his old flicks. I'm like, God. So it's very intriguing to me. I've never seen it before, but I do plan on giving it a try.
Yeah, you should. All of the previous seasons are on Netflix, so you can catch up pretty fast.
Good. Let's try it. Let's move on to, good old Fox.
Father Marcus, what can you tell me about demonic possession? I had a dream, and you're in it.
Go on.
There was a child tied to a bed.
There was a child tied to a bed. That can only scream one show, which is a spinoff or a remake or something of the movie.
TV adaptation.
I don't know how this is going to do well on regular TV, but
yeah, I don't know either.
But this is The Exorcist
on Fox.
On Fox.
And not a lot of names I recognize except for one. Gina Davis.
I seen that.
I will watch anything with Gina Davis.
Did you watch the pirate movie I told you?
No, I still have that one on my list.
Gotta watch that.
I have so many movies I have to watch.
When I looked at these and we talked about different shows, Gina Davis is what gave this show any credibility to me. So I don't know how they're going to pull this off on Fox. I think if it was an FX or AMC.
Not a network where you could actually do more terrifying things.
They're going to have to be very limited, and it's really weird how a Fox or a major network like this is going to try to pull off some type of scare flick. But Gina Davis is in it, so I will give it it's due watch because of Gina Davis.
Same.
I don't know what the hell other than that.
There's not much to talk about. We know the story of The Exorcist, so it's kind of just how they change it up will be interesting to see.
I don't get it. I don't know what Fox is doing. It seems like they're really banking on that Empire show, and that's it. They ain't got much going on right now. There's a couple of other shows we'll talk about later, maybe. But all right, let's move on to NBC.
NBC.
What's NBC got?
You want to be fat,
This is the
friends?
NBC
I can't fall for a fat person right now.
choice.
I guess I'll lose the weight then.
Oh, I talked right over the joke. Hold on.
You want to be fat, friends?
I can't fall for a fat person right now.
I guess I'll lose the weight then.
How romantic.
Yeah, I don't know. I need to boost it. That was kind of quiet, but I watched the whole trailer and I looked for a clip that somebody might recognize or funny in there. Now, this isn't my type of show, but I can see my wife watching this week in and week out.
If I understand it correctly, This Is Us is kind of one of the stories where it's different people's lives and they're all interconnected in some way, but not like really obviously. That's what I got from the little
it's like
TV trailer.
The woman's version of Game of Thrones.
No, it's
well. You got
Game of Thrones is a woman's version.
All right,
what you
maybe.
talking about?
But it looks like there's literally 6 different storylines going on at any given time, and they're all pulling at your heartstrings.
I'd say this is more in line with like a Love Actually or Valentine's Day, where it's all of those people and they run into each other, but they don't necessarily
I don't remember
affect each
those
other.
movies. Love Actually. The only thing I remember is the chick from Congo getting naked in that movie. I don't remember the rest of the movie. I don't know what it was about, but I gave it at least 1 thumb up for that.
I don't even know what to say. This Is Us. Probably no nudity because it's on NBC. So
it will be a show that I do not watch. And I'm sure it's a great show because there's a lot of people in it too.
Yeah,
there's a lot of people. It's just when I come home from a day of work or dealing with the kids, the last thing I need is somebody pulling at my heartstrings. So I typically avoid those type of shows. But if you like those type of shows, this show looks interesting and it's stacked full of people. The dude from Heroes is in it.
And Mandy Moore.
Mandy Moore's in it?
Mandy Moore hasn't been in a lot of stuff. She's been like hiding out.
She has been. Last thing I seen her in was that President's Daughter movie, I think.
Tangled?
Was she in Tangled?
Yeah, she was Rapunzel.
Wow.
Fun facts with Bailey and Dan.
Good thing. See, that's why I told you at the beginning of the show, that's why I always hunt down smart people to do these with. I had no idea about that.
Yeah.
Oh, I should have known that. We've seen Tangled so many times.
That's probably why. It glazed right over.
You get 3 little girls in the house, so you watch a lot of Tangled. And don't even get me started about Frozen. I can sing every song.
Oh, God. Don't bring that one up.
All right. Anything else about This Is Us? I don't...
Yeah, NBC has not been very strong in the last couple of years, so...
I feel like most of the major networks are falling off.
Yeah.
Heavily. Like, people are not intrigued by their general storylines that they... And right in the middle, they'll modify if they think it helps audience participation at all, but it's just not intriguing at all. The only thing I think interesting about those is when they're doing... And I don't watch a lot of these shows, but the Supergirl and the Flash... or shows that you can sit down and actually watch with your kids. That's where I think their strength is, but there's only so many of those you can do.
Yeah.
Sorry, NBC.
Although ABC, as we were mentioning earlier, and we can kind of segue into that, ABC has probably the strongest lineup on TV, on like network TV. Like I said, they've got the Shonda Land Thursday nights. Yeah. They've got Once Upon a Time. Oh, God, what was the other one that they had? Besides like all of the reality shows that they have that are... I
just like the fact that they seem like they're trying different things.
Yeah.
Rather than just grabbing a hold of a concept or doing the Fox and remaking a bunch of movies.
Or just making like a million CSIs or whatever.
Yeah. So I like what they're doing at least. I don't watch a lot of ABC shows, but when we turn on the TV, that is probably the default channel, one of the defaults, because we know it's going to be kid-friendly most of the time if the kids are up, and it's going to be something different that is somewhat appealing. I think we're not going to talk about it, but I know my wife's super hyped for Notorious, which is an ABC show. So that's, when we talk about all the shows, that's probably the one she's most intrigued about.
Interesting.
But that's not the show we're going to talk about. So we're going to talk about this one.
Please, just tell us what you know. Capitol's been attacked. Congress, cabinet. Eagle is gone. Sir, you are now the president of the United States.
So that is Designated Survivor with Kiefer Sutherland.
Kiefer Sutherland.
Which I'm a big fan of.
Also have Maggie Q, Cal Penn. This is a pretty good lineup here.
Now, I got an argument about this show yesterday because the people that I work with, ignorant-minded people, I'm just kidding. No, they don't like Sutherland. They think he is too every time he plays a role, it's the same role. And I can't totally argue with that, but he does it so well.
I see that. I do see that. It's kind of, he reminds me of Russell Crowe in that aspect.
Yeah.
Where Russell Crowe puts in really great performances, but they're all the same.
I was thinking Kevin Bacon.
Kevin Bacon also.
You get Kevin Bacon, the scary Stir of Echoes, and Kevin Bacon in Footloose, and he's still the same guy for whatever reason.
Kevin Bacon in Footloose.
He's still the same guy, right? Look at his face expressions and his acting. I love Kevin Bacon, but he's the same guy. Same thing here. I like Kiefer Sutherland. I am somewhat excited for this show. I'm a little weary because it is, anymore, the regular networks I'm a little weary about, but it sounds very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
End of the world type situation. We go to war, and the Eagle, as you heard, is no longer with us. So by default, congressman, I believe he's a congressman. Maybe he's a senator.
Yep, cabinet member.
I should read the description. Going off the trailer I watched, but nevertheless, he becomes the president. And it sounds like he, if you watch the trailer, he is trying to lead a nation, and people do not buy into him and do not believe he is the guy to take on this challenge. I'm not sure what cabinet member he is, but for whatever reason, he's not very popular. But he holds out and he stands his ground, and looks like he leads us through some tough times. So I'm excited for that show.
I just find it funny that we have all of these, it's like they keep reusing same concepts every time.
They do.
Let's do a president show. Let's do a cop show. Let's do a lawyer show. Let's do a doctor show. Oh my God. Have you thought of anything else, people?
What I like about these shows, though, is they're somewhat far-fetched of how they go down. I can't watch any of the Chicago Fire, PD, whatever. When they get too realistic, I'm like, I don't want to see that stuff. I like the stuff that has a concept, like the president thing, or even when he was in 24, which they're bringing back, which I'm excited for. But
that one's going on Fox.
Yeah, but it's not out until January, so we elected not to talk about it. But
I wonder how that works with networks when you have one show on one network and one show on the other network. Did they have problems with that?
He's not in it.
Oh, okay. Well, in that case, that makes that easy.
They're scratching and starting over. So the new 24 is all new. Yeah, all new characters. Yeah, he's not involved in the show. Although he said in a statement, I seen an article where he said there is a possibility of some cameos. So don't be surprised if he pops up somewhere. It's not 24 without him.
I know a lot of people are like, I'm not watching this. He's not there. I'm not there.
I love 24. I didn't watch it until after all 8 seasons were over. And then I went back and ended up watching it through Netflix or somewhere. But I enjoyed it a lot. I think I'll like this Designated Survivor. But you were right. There is a lot of repeat happening. Then there's CBS.
One male down, code 3, incident 4.
LA's always been a hunting ground. I've been hunting armed men through this city since OJ was doing Hertz commercials. And I can tell you, one thing never changes. Nobody sees it coming.
Oh, boy.
I don't know if I like Bill Paxton in this role. And I like Bill Paxton.
Yeah. So this is Training Day. Yes, the same Training Day that we saw from Antoine Fuqua. Is that right?
Yep, that's right. I couldn't even get that out, but you're right.
Just off the top of my head there.
That is the guy. But now they're.
I don't. It's supposed to be a follow-up to the film Training Day with a rookie cop partnered with a corrupt officer, Bill Paxton.
They got creative, though. They made the white guy the cop this time and the black guy the rookie.
Oh, wow. Really switched it up.
But yeah, it's the whole premise is very similar to what we saw in the movie. The trailer actually looks pretty good. If it wasn't for the fact that the movie was out, I'd probably be a little more interested in this. It doesn't look bad. I think Jerry Bruckheimer is producing this. So they got a fairly large name behind it. And please correct me if I'm wrong on that. But I thought I seen his name associated to it.
Let me check.
We're doing our facts checking. But
Jerry Bruckheimer?
Is it really?
It's Bruckheimer.
You got me.
I don't know if he is doing that one.
Trickery. But I think there's a lot of hype around this one.
Well, yeah, because this one will be the one that will determine whether or not you can really take... Actually, no, that's a lie. I was going to say if you can take a film and turn it into a TV series. But no, that has happened before because Fargo is extremely successful.
Yeah. People love Fargo.
So, but I don't know if Training Day can translate to TV, though.
I don't know. And it's going to be on CBS. This isn't I don't think this is a typical style CBS show. I'm not sure how far they can push the limits. Bill Paxton looked good in it, although I don't know if I really like him for this role.
That was really a cheesy little line, too, and he was like, in L.A.
Well, he's doing that voice thing, right, that all these guys are trying to do now. And I was like, yes. There's another show. I can't remember the name of the show now, but there's another show. There's a guy who talks every time. The chick that gets out of the bag in the middle of New York City.
Oh, Blind Spot.
Blind Spot. The main guy in that. I can't stand that guy. Every time he talks, it's the same thing. If he's happy, he's like, yes, I'm happy. If he's mad, I'm mad. It's the same voice. No changes to his face expression.
The Batman voice.
That's where it all started. Everybody wanted to be Batman.
Got to be growly.
I don't know. Training Day, I'm going to watch it. It has me intrigued. I like that type of cop show. I don't like cop shows, but I like the shows that are a little edgy and a little bit more far-fetched, right? We'll see where it goes, but I don't know.
It could pay off. CBS taking a risk. Why not?
Well, they ain't doing anything else with this shit.
Not really.
Like, let's face it. Like,
oh, look, 5 more sitcoms. Surprise.
Yeah, and they're it's Training Day or Kevin. What's the Kevin? Kevin James is back.
Kevin Can Wait.
Kevin Can Wait. So you got, which I like Kevin James, but I don't, man.
I saw a really funny tweet. I cannot remember who said it. So if you're listening and you wrote this, good job. But they were saying the only way Kevin Can Wait would be funny is if the story was he murdered his previous wife and his father-in-law and moved to a different city and changed his name.
That's probably it. Which I loved. What's his father-in-law in the last show?
It was Jerry Stiller.
Yeah, Jerry Stiller. I love Jerry Stiller. He made that show.
That show.
Kevin James. I seen Kevin James do stand-up live before I ever seen the show, and I thought he was pretty funny. And then I watched the show, and I just like, hey, every joke I've ever heard in his stand-up, he's now done 20 times through his show. I don't think his show's going to... We're totally off topic, but I don't think his show's going to be any good at all. Same thing with Matthew Blanc is doing a show on CBS.
Yeah, he's been trying to make stuff happen ever since Friends, and it really just is not panning out.
They make a lot of sitcoms for, like, old people. That's how I feel about CBS.
Yeah.
Their demographic is old.
It is old.
I'm not old enough yet. I'm getting there. But
I'm not right old now someone's listening to this like, hey, I like CBS.
All right, go back to watch NCIS, and you take off with that Matthew Blanc stuff.
What's the next one?
All right, so now we're getting into the ones that I am most excited about.
Me too.
So we're starting off with a little Netflix action.
You knocked down a few doors in the projects, and now you Harlem's hero. I'm just getting started.
Just getting started. He is going to break down so many doors in this show.
God, I love Luke Cage. I can't even talk. That's how much I love him. Luke Cage.
This show, Jessica Jones was okay. I thought it was good, but I don't know. I didn't think it was as great as a lot of people did. But I am super stoked
I was
for
the
this.
lot of people.
Yeah,
I loved that show.
I love Daredevil, and I'm super stoked for Luke Cage.
Yes.
I think he's just going to beat the shit out of everybody for 10 episodes.
That trailer where he pulls the car door off and then wraps a dude in it, I was like, I am all about this. I will clear my schedule for Luke Cage. I don't care what's happening.
It will be a binge fest.
Oh God, he is beautiful, and he is amazing.
Is it Mike
Coulter?
Coulter? Yeah, Mike Coulter. Yeah, I don't know if he's beautiful. I won't comment on that part. I really don't have an opinion on that part. But he's a big dude that
can
just
jacked.
Yeah, just looks ripped to shit, and he is going to pound the crap out of everybody. And I love shows that is just nonstop action. And I think there'll be some drama in this, of course, and a lot of backstory. But this is going to be very exciting for me for a weekend at least. Fun
fact: he was in American Horror Story.
Ah.
Yeah.
Look at that.
He was also in Halo Nightfall. Did you ever watch that?
No.
Yeah. They had 2 Halo series for the game.
Oh, yeah. The game stuff?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They
I remember
had,
that. I've never seen it, but I know what you're talking about. You ever play Halo?
Yes.
God damn, I love Halo.
I know. It's like my favorite.
It's the stupidest game because they made the first one, then they made the second one, then they made the third one. The game never really changed. But I bought every one of those things, and I just like, there's a new gun.
Every time. But yeah, he was Locke in Halo 5. And so he did the series, then he also did the voice for the game, and man. Yeah. So he's pretty much just awesome all around. You can nerd out about him.
This is exciting because for me, it's the next step to get us closer to the Defenders, too.
Yes.
And I can't wait for the Defenders.
Well, and Marvel's Netflix series have been solid. So, and they each have different feels to them, but they still connect, which I like.
Yeah, they've all been really good. Really, really good story. They're a little bit darker. Mm-hmm. You know, you get away from the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and Ghost Rider crap that I can't believe they're doing. But this is going to be, and I can't wait. And they're going to, Defenders, and then we get to Iron Fist. That's going to be coming out.
I think spring? Yeah, spring or summer.
So probably for me, the only downside to this, and there's not really a downside, but they're going to bring it out, they're going to release it, and I'm going to watch the entire thing within a weekend, and I'm going to just be sitting there waiting for Iron Fist.
That's what I did with Jessica Jones. I watched it, and then I was like, when does Daredevil season 2 come out?
I actually took the day off to sit and watch Daredevil, right? I had vacation to burn, and I'm like, screw this, like, I am watching this. I was so excited about Daredevil when it first came out. That's the first one, but
I can't wait till companies actually have like, okay, we have vacation time, we have personal time, we have Netflix time.
Well, there's guys at work right now. There's a new game, Dynasty. I don't know Dynasty, but I got a guy taking a couple of days off work just to play the new Dynasty game. So people, they give more and more vacation, which is we're all thankful for, but now it gives you an opportunity to kind of utilize it in ways that you couldn't before. So I remember getting 1 week a year for vacation. That sucks.
That's horseshit.
So now you get, these things like Netflix, right? Or Dynasty, and you can take a couple of days off and live it up. Sit in the basement, little popcorn.
If that's your definition of vacation, then you do it.
Stress reliever. So we're both 2 thumbs up on Luke Cage, right? No doubt.
Hell yes.
All right. Let's move on to the most anticipated show, I think, of the year.
Do you know where you are?
I'm in a dream.
You're in my dream. I designed every part of this place. It's not a theme park, but an entire world.
What's interesting about this, when I was looking for a clip, is like there's no clip that really tells you what the story is.
That's because Westworld is pretty mysterious. Like, unless you read the book.
Yeah.
You have no idea.
And I never seen the other movie. I don't recall the original movie that came out in 78 or was it that old? Yeah, you're right. It is even older.
Oh, totally guessed on that one.
Well, look at you. Mastermind. I never seen this show.
Was it a book? I don't actually know if it was a book. I take that back.
Well, I don't know.
No.
Oh, no?
No? Maybe? I don't know. Somebody tell me, was it a book? I think it's just I have no idea what's happening right now.
Well, I didn't watch the movie, and I'm half tempted to go back and I'm trying to watch it. It's probably going to be terrible, but I'm very intrigued, so I'm really thinking about it before this releases in a couple of weeks, first week of October.
And this is on HBO. So many people in this, like unbelievable. Anthony Hopkins, Ed Harris, Evan Rachel Wood, James Marsden, Thandie Newton, Tessa Thompson, Rodrigo Santoro, Ben Barnes. I can keep going.
They're stacked.
And they have this whole show planned out for 5 seasons if it's good. So if people like it,
it'll be good.
And it's supposed to be the most expensive.
Oh, really? I didn't hear that.
Yep, they said, you know that record that Game of Thrones just smashed with their battle?
Yeah.
Westworld will crush this.
Well, anything that J.J. Abrams touches, I am willing to at least consider for a little bit. But the fact that it's on HBO and this lineup, and I love, and I think really HBO is going to bank on this a lot because if you take away Game of Thrones, I don't think HBO's got the greatest. I personally don't think they got the most greatest lineup right now. I think there's some of the stuff like Vice Principals. Have you seen Vice Principals?
I have not seen Vice Principals.
It's horrible.
Is it?
It's an HBO show. It's horrible. I think they had a strong lineup, and I think it's kind of died off with some of their more recent shows in the last couple of years, and Game of Thrones has really carried them.
Game of Thrones and Veep. Veep's been repping them in the comedy side.
I haven't seen that, but I like Silicon Valley a lot.
Another great comedy one. So.
But there's a lot of other stuff they're putting out there I question. But this is going to make HBO rebound. Not that they really were ever down, but this show looks fantastic. It is some type of, I don't even understand it totally, some type of
science
dream
fiction
world?
Thriller. Yeah, they're like Anthony Hopkins' character created this world, and everybody who lives in it thinks it's a theme park, but it's actually not a theme park.
It's a Western theme park?
I would assume so. It's called Westworld.
There's a lot of cowboys going on. I see a lot of cowboy action. So
this seems like the movie, or not the movie, the TV show that. Okay, I'm going to start over again here. This seems like the concept that Cowboys versus Aliens really wanted.
Oh, yeah.
Or Cowboys and Aliens.
Yeah.
Was it Versus?
Daniel Craig and was it Cowboys versus Alien. Yeah.
Where it combined the Western with sci-fi.
Yeah.
This seems like it will work.
Well, yeah, because it's not, that
was Cowboys and Aliens, not Versus.
That one got a little cheesy, but they're taking people in and out of some type of dream state, and I'm not really sure why. Is it an experiment, or is there something more to it? Is
it the Matrix?
Yeah, I have no idea, but it's very appealing, and Anthony Hopkins is great. It is by far my top of the list. It's crazy because it's the one I am waiting for more than anything else, and I really don't even know what it is.
And we know nothing about it. Yeah, exactly. I think that's why it's so popular, though, is because we want to know about it. We've been hearing about it for a while now. I would say for like a year and a half.
Yeah,
we've been hearing about
quite a bit.
So I'm so excited to watch.
I got nothing else to say about it.
No, that's
it looks
pretty
fantastic.
much it.
And it comes out, so season premiere I think is October 4th. HBO, so I'm sure we will talk a lot about it.
Oh yeah, especially if it's good.
Well, because you look at the rest of the lineup we just told you.
And it was kind of meh.
A lot of it is just things we've seen before. Luke Cage really, Marvel is continuing their success over at Netflix, and then Westworld seems like it might change the game a little bit, especially with Game of Thrones coming to an end next season. So HBO needed to really grab a hold of something that was going to anchor their lineup, so this is great.
And I got to say, too, like, as more of a movie person, TV is one of those things. I know we're in, like, kind of the golden age of TV right now. Actually, I shouldn't say golden age. That was back in the 90s and 80s. We're kind of in the revival of TV. But with TV shows, you have to invest so much more of your time. So, like, I don't want to watch crappy shows.
Yeah.
If I'm going to find a good one, I'm sticking with that one, and I'm not going to watch 10 other ones, too. I'm going to keep up with one that I really care about. It's not like a movie where you're like, 2 hours, I can do that.
Yeah.
But this is like week after week after week, or binge watching sessions, and so it has to be something that really, really just gets you, and that's what I feel Westworld will be.
I agree totally. I think that's where the other networks come short a lot of times. They don't really produce stories that cause you or require you to get engaged with and get deep into and watch, and I think they
make background noise for your TV dinners.
They really do. So on that note, speaking of crappy shows, wow, that was really loud. So talking about crappy shows, or what may or may not be crappy shows, let's do a quick lightning round, and I will read off, or you can read off. No, okay. I'll read off a show, and you just give your immediate thought or opinion. Don't go into great detail, just what you think right away.
Okay.
First thoughts. So let's start with the one we talked about some other movie remakes, but I think this is the Wayans. Damon Wayans is the star of this show, but Lethal Weapon.
I'm getting too old for this shit.
Do you even know? There you go.
That's my response.
All right, well, let's move on. Speechless, which I think is who's the main Mimi Driver?
Oh, Minnie Driver?
Mimi Driver is the one who was married to Tom Cruise, right? She's the older one.
What?
Yes, you're right.
Minnie Driver.
It's Minnie. You know who You know the other one?
I do not know the other one.
She was in Gun Ho. Gun Ho with Michael somebody that I can't remember that played Batman originally. Oh, we're all over the place.
I know nothing about this show, so
you don't know Gun Ho?
No, I'm talking about Speechless.
Oh. No, you're right. Minnie Driver's in it, right?
Yep.
Yeah, she's in it.
I don't know.
All right. Well, we're moving on because that's what I know about it too. Right? Like,
I'm speechless because I don't know anything about Speechless.
Well, that's the whole purpose of this. So we already talked about. I was going to ask about Kevin Can't Wait, but we already touched on that. How about Notorious?
Oh, that's the one with Piper Perabo or whatever her name is.
She was the girl. She was in the Coyote Ugly.
Yep, that's her. She had another show on USA that was exactly like what this sounds like.
The difference is, so my wife loved that show too. That she was like CIA. This show, she's actually a television producer. But if you watch the trailer, it looks like the same show.
Pass.
All right. So, I'm going to skip the next one because I'll save that one for last. The big one. Do you know, how about Frequency? You heard of Frequency?
I have not heard of Frequency.
CW. It's a CW show where they're talking to aliens. I think the fact that I said it's a CW show probably already tells you what it's going to be like.
A police detective in 2016 discovers that she's able to speak via ham radio with her estranged father. Blah, 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 blah.
Wasn't that a movie?
Probably. Every idea has been reused at this point.
Then we got the Matthew Block, Man with a Plan. I don't even know what it's about, but I'm not 60, so I don't care.
Matt LeBlanc.
Is that what his name is?
Yeah.
What do I call it? LeBlanc?
Yeah.
Fuck.
Close enough, right?
I don't know what I'm doing. How about Pitch?
Yes, I'm actually really excited about this one. It's going to be a baseball show about the first female baseball player to join the major league.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. It's like, League of Their Own was my favorite. So
Go women.
There's no crying in baseball.
The final one, just so we didn't forget it, but the reboot for MacGyver.
Why? All
right, move on.
Why do we need to reboot?
Dude. Yeah. It looks cheesy as shit.
I would rather watch the really terrible MacGruber with Will Forte than watch a reboot of MacGyver.
This looks cheesy as hell. It looks so cheesy. But, you grab a hold. I'm telling you, Buck Rogers, goddammit. I wish they would make Buck Rogers again.
You should write a strongly worded letter.
They keep remaking these shows. Like, no one gives two shits about MacGyver.
But
Buck Rogers, like, no one remembers Buck Rogers. So it almost feels like it's brand new again.
If you want to watch MacGyver, just watch, like, How It's Made and Mythbusters, and that's basically all you need to see.
You know what would be a great remake? Oh, a live-action Space Ghost. God damn, that would be badass.
Yes. Would watch.
No cartoon. Live-action
Space Ghost. Oh, God. That show.
God damn it. See?
Get on that, people.
I got better ideas than ABC. Well, maybe not ABC, but CBS for sure.
Definitely CBS.
All right. So you did a little social poll this week?
I did. So I polled on both Twitter and Facebook, asking which production company, studio, whatever you want to say, do you think makes better animated films? Obviously, Twitter only allows me 4, so I had Disney, Pixar, DreamWorks, and Illumination. Keep in mind that Disney does own Pixar, so it's kind of muddy there, but they do have separate animation studios. So on Twitter, I had 21% Disney, 7% DreamWorks, 0 for Illumination, which is not a surprise considering Minions makes people want to vomit.
Yeah, wow.
And 71% for Pixar. Facebook was kind of more interesting. Disney and Pixar tied. Nobody said DreamWorks or Illumination because they were like, no, I'm not having any of this. And there is also Studio. Oh my gosh, I'm going to botch this name. Studio. Oh my God, I need to look it up. I can't say it. I don't want to say it wrong. Somebody
made another suggestion?
Yes. And I do know this one. It's a Japanese animation film studio. They did Spirited Away, the Totoro movie. What was that one called?
Searching
As I'm
frankly.
searching,
well, I'll
searching
tell you,
frantically.
I actually put a vote in, and then I deleted it because I didn't want to kill the integrity of the poll, but I would have voted for Hanna-Barbera all day. Which you look confused.
No, I know Hanna-Barbera. Have they actually made a movie, though?
I don't. I'm sure there's I don't even know. Huckleberry Hound movie out there somewhere. Remember Huckleberry Hound?
Yes.
Man.
Okay, well, Spirited Away is the one that I really, really remember. Studio Ghibli.
Well, let's face it.
Somebody help me with this pronunciation. I don't want to botch it. I feel so bad. But I have seen, they did, I am really messing this up, guys. I'm so sorry. But yeah, Spirited Away was amazing. Like, I think it did win the Academy Award one year. And, like, I watched it in a world religions class, which I think is
that's kind of...
Well, because it was all about, like, the Shinto kind of... symbolism and metaphors and
was it in English?
No,
subtitled.
Yes.
I like some subtitle stuff,
but it was beautiful. Like the animation was fantastic. But so a lot of the reasons though that people were giving me Disney, Pixar, whatever, everyone's like, well, Pixar has been consistently great, and people were like, but Disney's been around the longest and they've been changing the game the most. What do you think?
So my favorite movies, and it will probably, I probably lean more towards Pixar because I think they got very creative with the comedy aspects, right? I think they had made movies that both adults and kids could laugh at and enjoy. Mm-hmm. Where I think Disney for years really produced great kid movies,
and now they're catching up.
And now they're starting to make shows. So, but that's still really tough. That's me saying that as an adult now. But let me tell you, I mean, I remember seeing Sleeping Beauty in the theaters. Like, I can't believe I just even admitted that. But, like, I thought, like, wow, when the dragon comes out at the end and the prince has to fight the dragon, like, I loved, some of those old classics. So it's hard because Disney has produced so many good ones, but they've also produced some ones that aren't too good. So... And Pixar has been pretty consistent.
Yeah. Well, and it depends, too, on are we talking story? Are we talking the actual animation? Or are we talking overall? Because that's where it gets...
Yeah.
Because you could pull out different ones and say, like, Disney, I think, has more diversity in their animation. And Pixar has more consistent stories.
But they also have the advantage of being modern. So they didn't produce anything until more recently when they had the best tools. And so that's not totally fair to compare animation necessarily, although you are right.
Although some of them do hold up over time.
Yeah.
So I know you were like, some of them don't hold up over time.
No, but if I had the pick between the two, I would probably lean Pixar. Just because I think... every Pixar movie I've seen, almost everyone, I've enjoyed to some extent, no matter what my age had been. There was some level. Where Disney, I've sat in Disney movies with my kids that I literally I just nap, right? I just ready to fall asleep because I don't find them intriguing at all. But it would be interesting if you pulled kids.
Yeah.
Because I would tell you, no one likes, you talk about Minions. My kids would be voting all over that.
Oh, children.
Love
you sweet
Minions.
Summer children. No, I mean, Illumination is, so they're Universal Studios. And I really liked Despicable Me.
Yeah.
And I mean, they have the chance to do great things. They also did Secret Life of Pets, but I don't think they're playing at the same level as Disney and Pixar.
It's the same thing with DreamWorks, I really thought. I thought they did a really good job with Shrek.
Yeah. The first... I'd say maybe two. Then why do we have the rest?
Everything else they did was just okay.
They're in the franchise model. They're making
Disney is
sequels
making
and sequels and sequels.
It's tough. You know what would be interesting is 20 years from now, what are we talking about? Are we talking about Cars? Are we still going back talking about Snow White, right? Disney made timeless classics. Mm-hmm. I don't know if we'll talk about Pixar like that.
Or DreamWorks. Yeah. DreamWorks definitely not. Like, you're going to be like, remember Ice Age 500?
No. We definitely won't be talking about that. But
God.
But Pixar is very good because they're also relative of the moment. Disney tells, so I don't know. I might even change my, be leaning back and forth here. I might even go back to Disney. Like, I could still sit down and watch some of those old Disney movies. I don't know if I'll be able to do that in 20 years with Pixar.
Ooh, this sounds like it could be a whole other show.
It definitely has the potential. So, what are you suggesting?
I'm suggesting we talk about our top animated films next time. That'll be interesting because
I'm glad. I need the time to actually think about it, especially after we just had this little talk. Because the top animated, can it be TV films? As long as it's a film, can it be TV? Or are we just going
as long as it's a film?
Is it if it has movie in the title and it was on TV? Does that qualify?
Sure.
All right. Because I know I'll have
that changes everything for you.
Right? Well, I know of at least one, maybe even two, that would definitely hit my top 5. That will not be on your top 5, or probably anybody else's until I say it, and then every guy my age is going to say yes.
I'm gonna laugh when you get like all these tweets that are like, no.
What are you talking about? No.
Oh,
that's a good one. All right, so next week?
Next week, yeah. Let's talk about that next week.
Top animation.
Top
flicks.
Yes. I'm all about that. And I love that you guys all gave me your answers, too, for what you thought was the best. Good to know.
All right. Well, you suggest... We have a Twitter question. Before I even ask anything about Twitter, you said subtitles. I'm curious, what's your favorite subtitle movie? Do you have a favorite? Is there one that comes to mind?
I mean, how subtitled are we talking?
Well...
Are we talking entirely subtitled or mostly?
Entirely. I'll even give you... Yeah, we'll go entirely.
Okay. Don't
know?
I don't know if I have one that's entirely subtitled. I was going to say Inglourious Bastards because it's in like 3 different languages. Actually, 4.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I don't know. I'll have to...
Have you ever seen... So you said that. It just gave me an opening to
Wait,
talk about.
I take it back.
Wait.
Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. I will watch it in...
That's a pretty good one.
Yeah.
They
have the English version too, but it kind of loses...
Yeah, I agree.
A little bit of the appeal.
I would... That's probably number 2 for me.
What's your number 1?
Have you ever seen a movie called Brotherhood of the Wolf?
No.
Fuck. You have... Like, first comes the Nebraska game today. But when you're done with the Nebraska game, you need to watch this movie. Brotherhood of the Wolves, I actually think it's plural, right?
Nope, it's singular.
Wolf? All right, I was right the first time. Is a fantastic movie. I absolutely love that movie. And the action... In French? Oh, yeah. It's in French.
I haven't actually watched a movie in French.
God damn, the action in this movie is so intense and so good. And there's got a really interesting twist to the whole thing and a lot of mystery. Absolutely love that show. Probably, I will put it in my top 5 favorite movies of all time.
Oh, Vincent Cassel's in this movie? I'm there.
Don't know who that is, but I'm sure he was beating the shit out of somebody in it.
You would recognize him if you saw him.
Is he the white dude?
Yes, he is a white dude, but he might not be the white dude that you're talking about.
I'm looking it up. Well, the other main character in it is at least portrays an Indian. I gotta look it up. I gotta know who that guy is now. But goddamn, that's a fantastic show. If you guys have not seen Brotherhood of the Wolf, came out in 2001. Yeah.
Ooh, it's on Amazon.
Oh my god, I bought it. Like, that's how good it is. And I don't buy movies, but I bought this movie. I love this movie. I might even watch this movie tonight. Depends how upset I am over the game. We'll just see how that goes.
Please don't upset us.
We'll see how that goes. Great, absolutely fantastic flick that I could talk about all day. But we won't, because we are probably about out of time.
Oh, yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
We probably went pretty long.
Probably did.
We're pretty long. Oh, we have a... Let me ask. I'll just ask real quick this social question or whatever, just real thought. But have you even seen BBC's Dirk Gently? Have you seen that?
I have not.
So the question becomes, is BBC's Dirk Gently the next big TV winner that nobody is talking about? So Elijah Wood is in this. He's the star.
I like Elijah Wood.
If you is he on your bone list?
Ooh, no.
Wow.
He's not. Like, I enjoy him, but I don't know if I would bone him.
Oh, interesting. Well, he's got a show on BBC, and if you watch, we'll have to come back to this and talk about it later if you haven't seen the preview. I'd be curious to what you think. The preview looks really good.
That's so interesting, too, that it, like nobody talks
about it. I actually think if you watch the trailers, it is the most, outside of Westworld and Luke Cage, right? Because I'm just a bandwagon fan with those two. It is the most intriguing show that I've seen from a trailer perspective.
I'm going to have to look this up now.
Yeah. It looks very intriguing. And from the BBC, like, hello, mate. Like, oh, that's Australian. Wait. Cheerios? Like, I don't know.
No. This show is now subtitled.
Point being is you're not getting the crazy, like, you're not, you know, BBC shows, you get the accents, that's kind of hard. And you get the crazy Robin Hood shows. And, like, it doesn't look like that at all. It looks legit.
What you just said made me think of what JT was saying about how she doesn't like watching shows with accents because it just bugs her after a while.
Ooh, we should work on that. We should do a whole podcast for JT and that.
Oh, my God.
We should invite JT here.
And then
don't
just
say
do
a word.
it.
Yep, just do it.
JT, if you're listening, forget everything you just heard.
That would be funny. We'll have to make that happen.
And now I need to watch that show.
All right, you watch that. We'll have to come back and talk about it later, but it looks very intriguing.
I have so much homework. I feel like every episode we do, I have more things to watch.
It is.
I'm going to have no life.
All right. Thanks for tuning in. I lose my voice right then. Man, I need a drink. I can't even do it.
A beer drink?
It is almost that time.
It is.
It is. I have a cooler ready to go. Go Big Red.
As do I.
Oh, my God. All right, thanks for tuning in. The show is recorded live to tape every week. I'd like to say that because you do hear the flaws and the mess-ups, but that is part of the magic. If you haven't already, go over to iTunes and subscribe. And feel free while you're there to leave us a review. We would appreciate that. This show is also available on SoundCloud, Google Play, and various other podcast distributions. And do us a favor and tell your friends. I need to hit that faster. I should be talking over it. Wow. Coughing right at the end. Anyway, we'll be back next week with an all-new episode talking about animation, top animated films.
Yes. And probably Magnificent Seven.
Ooh, Magnificent Seven. And maybe we'll even touch on this Dirk Gently, which is a remake show, actually. They made it previously. It's in the 70s. So I do know that. But anyway, hope you join us. I am Dan Powers. You can find me on Twitter at bandnamedan.
And I'm Bailey Hemphill, and I'm on Twitter at Bales of Hemp.
Bales of Hemp. That cracks me up every time. Thanks for listening. Peace out. I will be curious to your top picks. You know, I could probably pick, even if I didn't know what I have an idea already, but I bet I could pick your top picks. I bet I could pick part of them at least.
What is that supposed to mean?
Based on your age, and I'm not the generation, I'm just saying I could probably pick.
I think there will be one in there that will surprise you.
Well, I definitely have some picks that are probably that no one has thought about in 20 years. And again, I'm not trying to show my age, but there's some great old animation out there. You ever see Transformers the movie?
The animated one?
Yeah.
Oh boy.
That went to the theater, and I don't remember how old I was, but I went to it and I was like, wow, it blew me away. And I remember within days they pulled it from theaters because it was so bad. But I love it.
I wish they would do that now.
Ooh.
Are there any movies where they can just be like, you know what, this is terrible, let's just pull it back? Fantastic Four. Looking at you.
What was the movie? God, there's a song, the main theme song for the Transformer movie. If I play it, I'll be singing it all day.